I'm currently in my PhD program for integrative medicine, and this particular school focuses a lot on quantum physics. It takes a lot of ancient medicine like taoist medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and infuses it with what we now know to be quantum physics and really how it kind of made sense all along. And I am currently reading this article that is like blowing my mind, so I wanted to show you. This is a study done back in 2016 that is talking about the correlation between traditional Chinese medicine and the 5 elements and how DNA is produced. And it is fascinating. And I just want to show you some of the diagrams because so much of what we think we know in science, I think, has always been explained by some of these more ancient modalities, and quantum physics is like bridging this gap. And I think it's cool, so I'm just really sharing it with you, and I would love to know your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, it's important for you to know that there are only 4 amino acids or molecules that create the DNA structure. So those are kind of put, right? They are all replicated here, G, A, C, U, and then kind of their replication. So when DNA starts to replicate, it starts down here, okay, and it goes through the replication phase and stops here. Now the next slide is really fascinating because these all represent the different elements. And in traditional Chinese medicine, when anything starts, it starts with wood, which is indicated here by red. And then it ends over here. So it ends with a water element.
The reason this is so cool is the article kind of goes on to talk about in traditional Chinese medicine, anything that's initiatory or the start of a process always starts with the wood element. And these different elements correlate with the different meridians, they correlate with different parts of your bodies, different organs, and then the final or demolition phase is always the water element. So when 2 strands of DNA unzip and then rezip, right, to make a new strand of DNA to start to produce a baby or whatever it is, the process that happens starts with a wood element. Okay, so the colors were representative of each element, and it ends, that zip, that sharing of DNA, of transfer, ends with a water element. Now this goes into a lot more detail, but what is really fascinating too is in traditional Chinese medicine and also Ayurveda, the different elements are coupled just like DNA has to be coupled to link up, right, when they rezip. So I'm just finding it really fascinating that the more that we actually dig into quantum physics, the more we get into sacred geometry, the more that we get into really whittling down and taking things and looking at them as a whole as opposed to separate, we really start to see some new things. So I just think it's cool.